Welcome. This is a class on how to handle difficult people and difficult customers, and I'm Claudia James. Have you ever had the experience of having someone come into you and you are having the best day you've ever had, and then all of a sudden you look at them and within the first few minutes of the words that they're speaking, they turn out to be the most difficult person in your whole life. And your whole demeanor just wilts. And it's like, why me? Why did I get this difficult person? I don't know about you, but in the last few years, I have noticed that the number of difficult people out there have increased. I have noticed that every day I can add a name to my list of difficult people. Well, there's 3 of them that I have found that I can work with more effectively now that I know who they are. And those 3 are the sly fox, the time bomb, and the stonewall. First, we'll talk about the sly fox. Oh, you'll recognize the sly fox. The sly fox is one that's socially skilled. They're outgoing and they're highly competitive. When you go into their office, you will recognize them. They have every diploma they have ever earned, from preschool straight through on their wall. Okay? They are always in the midst of people. They're always high energy people. They are always getting the attention of someone else. And while you may be drawn to these people, they're magnetically pulling you in, they can be abrasive. Okay? And they can be hostile at times, and there's times when we need to confront that. But the reality is, if we do, and we do it in public, they're going to get us. So they truly are the sly fox. They're going to get us. So the best way to work with them is when we confront them in private. Another thing that you can do to work more effectively with them is something that doesn't seem natural, and that is to stroke their ego. You may think, because of all these awards that they're showing everybody and the fact that they're always in the center of attention, that they don't need to have their ego stroked, but they do. So pay attention to them, stroke their ego, and confront them in private, and I think you'll find that you encounter less difficult customers that are the sly foxes. The time bomb is another type of difficult customer to work with. Oh, you'll recognize the time bomb as well, because they are caring, they're sensitive, they're trusting. They are someone that is always out there meeting everybody's needs. Why, in the office setting, you'll recognize them because when you have a headache, they're the ones you go to. And when they open up their desk drawer, they have Tylenol in that drawer. But it's not just one type of Tylenol. It's Tylenol extra strength. It's Tylenol cold medication. It is Tylenol sinus, because they know not everybody's headache's the same. Now, they're so busy getting everybody else's needs met that their own needs are on the back burner. But all of us are human, and all of us have some very basic needs that need to be met. And the time bombs, because they put theirs on the back burner, when they get it full up to here, what they do is they explode. And you're just taken aback. It's like, what can I do now? So what you do is you tiptoe around them. Shh, Susie's having a bad day. And that's not the thing we want to do. The first thing we want to do to minimize the number of times we run into this kind of person is to return their favors. They're really busy doing us favors. They never ask for us to return a favor, so we have to take the initiative and do that. Let's return their favor. Let's also talk about their feelings. They are feeling oriented, and the more that you can get them to talk about their feelings, and the more you talk about your feelings, the more they are receptive to listening to you, and they will explode less frequently as well. And then the next one, that's the stonewall. That's the one that has their feet firmly planted, and no matter what you do, no matter what you say, you can't budge them. Okay? They're ambitious people, and they're highly organized, and they have their Franklin planner attached to their hip. They're interested in process and efficiencies, and they've got it so together that oftentimes they're unapproachable. And we have a tendency not to go toward them. We have a tendency to stay away from them. They are stubborn people. They live by this motto: I never give up and I never give in. Okay? And so it's up to you to figure out how to get past that. And one of the ways in which I have found it helpful is to give them control. This is a high control group, and you have to give them control, or at least give them the illusion that they have some control. Okay? So far we talked about the sly fox, we talked about the time bomb, and we talked about the stone wall. But there's another group out there. They're the demanding group that says to you, I want to speak to the manager now. Have you ever had anybody like that? Well, if you haven't, it's coming. You probably will encounter them at some point in your life. Okay? They're the ones that may preempt a statement like that with, you're stupid, you're incompetent, you're ignorant, okay? And I want to speak to your manager now. Now, you could be like a lot of offices, and what they've determined is that everybody in the office is a manager, and so you could say, gladly, and transfer them over to your coworker. And that would be beneficial for some offices, but most generally, we need to apply the quadruple A approach. In other words, A. And I'll tell you what those stand for. A stands for acknowledge the feelings that you're experiencing in their body language and or their voice tone. The second A is assure them that you can help them. The third A is to ask questions. Let me make sure that I understand your situation, and then ask their permission to transfer the call to the manager. When you transfer that call, you and the manager need to speak before the actual customer comes on the line, and make arrangements with the manager to, and the fourth A is to make arrangements with your manager to bring this call back to you. Okay. So we have the first A, which is to acknowledge their feelings, the second A, which is to give them an assurance message, the third A, which is to ask their permission, and the fourth A is to arrange with your manager to return the call to you for summary. Well, that handles then 4 people and 4 difficult customers, but there's another one out there. Oh, they are so skilled in engaging you in argument. They are antagonists. And what they want you to do is to jump up on that negative merry-go-round and go in circles with them. They do everything they can to get you on that negative merry-go-round. And when you jump up there, you're just chasing them, and they're chasing you, and there's no solution. So there's a way that we can stay out of arguing with the customer. And that way is something that I learned many years ago, and I encourage all of you to implement this in your life. This is called the desk method of confronting people. It's the DESC method. The D stands for describe their negative behavior. What are they doing? Is their voice getting louder? Okay. So describe their behavior factually. No opinion is allowed here. You can't say you're acting like a jerk, or you're trying to get me to argue with you and I'm not going to do it. Okay. Don't need to go there. What is it that they're doing specifically that is eliciting an argument? Okay. The E stands for express your feelings about this behavior. Are you frustrated with it? Are you confused? Are you disappointed? What is it? The S stands for specify the details of the new behavior. Now tell them what you need for them to do. And then the C is give the consequences. And there's consequences to everyone's behavior. It'll be a positive consequence if they decide to change, and it's going to be a negative consequence if they decide not to change. So by implementing the desk method, you will avoid arguing with the customer. It's been my pleasure to be here with you today. I look forward to coming back to your organization and continuing this discussion on how to handle difficult people and difficult customers.